Doing out there? First things first, my name is Kenneth Bird. I'm the creator of Luminous 4K screen paint using ambient light projection technology gain times 7 and 8. I wanted to do a video right after I got finished doing the other video. The other one I used my Sony projector over there. That's around 4300 lumens, 1920 by 1200 WUXGA. I think that projector is it's the same one I have over here. I think it's a VPL. Yeah, VPL. It's a VPL. Except for that one's an FH30 for those of you curious about that one. This projector over here is a Sony also too. It is a Sony VPL X1000. Now, that projector is a very low-end projector. This one is not 4300 lumens. It actually comes in at 1100 lumens. It is 720p, and this is one I use for a lot of my demonstrations to back up how good our technology is. This projector right here is only XGA, so it doesn't have the WXGA. It's an XGA projector. That is it. That's all it has. And like I said, it's really old because on the back of my projector, there's my peripherals. That's it. There's no HDMI. There's some VGA back there. It's an S-video jack and some audio and video components, but that's analog components, but that's basically about it. So I'm using an HDMI adapter to run the Chromecast. Now, the screen I'm using right here is our Supreme 8, and the screen in the middle of it is the BEHR silver screen. Some people get the BEHR silver screen, they put a little metallic in it, they put a little Christmas glitter into it, and they come up with this gray screen paint. There is no difference in gray screen paint, and I'll tell you why. If there was any difference, they can go outside and do demonstrations. They could do black contrast demonstrations, any of those. One of the biggest faults when it comes to a gray screen or white screen is the contrast levels will fail horribly on these screens, and people pay a lot of money for contrast. You know, people talk about I got a 20,000 to 1, 12,000 to 1, 10,000 to 1, 8,000 to 1, whatever. You're just not going to get it. You're never going to get it. Now keep in mind, with this technology we developed here, not only is it ultra short though compatible and looks crazy amazing outside, but consider the fact that you don't have to pay for those extra perks on your projector. It doesn't make a difference if your projector has a 200 to 1. I think this one has a 200 to 1 or 400 to 1. I'm not pretty sure, but it is really low. The contrast on here is really, really low. So some people may look at a projector that may have a 600 to 1 contrast and go, oh no, I'll never be able to achieve black levels with that. You're not going to get them regardless. Even if you have a 20,000 to 1, you're just still not going to get it. So first things first, we're going to move this out of the way. We're going to do a demonstration on some basic fruits and vegetables and stuff like that. And this is just to show you, even with the projector I'm using here, this is a very low-end projector. I paid $45 for it on eBay. Even with this projector being at, I've got my measuring tape here too. Let me come back here and grab this measuring tape. So here to here, we are around 10 feet back from the screen. Now, one of the things that a lot of people don't explain to you when it comes to the lumens on your projector, and this is one of the things a lot of people fail to do, they just show you the screen, they show you the projectors, look how amazing it looks. There's some science behind it. So keep in mind, if you have a projector, I say about 4,300 lumens, depending on how much light you have in the environment, you will not have 4,300 lumens by the time you hit the screen. You're going to lose lumens. Regardless of what projector you have, you're going to lose lumens. As lumens start to travel from here to there, and depending on how much light you have in the environment, the lumens are going to start to drop. So that's why we do demonstrations outside, because when we do demonstrations outside, the lumens from the projectors are dropping at a crazy rate just to show you the screen can still pull an image. Now, the more light you have in the environment, and also to the screen, because lighter screens do not take ambient light too well. They fade out and wash out, and that's why in a lot of demonstrations you will see these demonstrations being done in the dark. They will never do demonstrations on our level because the screen will not be able to produce an image because there's too much light in the environment. Also too, walls play a huge part of this too. That's why in some of these demonstrations you see a lot of dark walls, because dark walls actually reflect less light. So when you have a room with a lot of white walls and bright lighting, yeah, it's a danger field for a projector, because that projector is going to have to fight even more just to hit the screen, and by the time it makes it to the destination hitting the screen's going to have to generate enough gain for you to see an image coming back. So that's some of the things they don't explain to you, and since they don't understand the science behind it, that's not a screen paint I would actually buy. Alright, so let's begin on showing the demonstration on the fruit. And like I said, this is on a $4,500 projector that I paid $4,500. Sorry, $4,500. Ooh, I paid $4,500 for this, man. They saw me coming. I paid $45 for it. And it's projector 720p. It is, now the reason why you're seeing the screen I was going to say, oh, there, but the reason why you're seeing the screen not in 16:9, because somebody said, how come it's not 16:9? The projector literally is so old, it only does 4.3. That's it. That's how old it is. So I can show you at 1100 lumens. Now some people are saying, well, you know, you're using that massive, powerful projector, the Sony. Well, here's my Sony right here. This projector is at the bottom of all bottoms when it comes to all the projectors we have here in the shop. And look at the picture quality, look at the contrast. This is what I mean by contrast is everything. So I can take a projector that's $45 with maybe I think a 200, it's probably 400 to 1, I gotta check on that, but it's pretty low. A 400 to 1 contrast and make it look like that when it comes to the black levels. That just tells you right there. Now some people may say, hey look, that's a different form of gray screen paint. It's not our screen paint. Well, if it's not the same as yours, you would have no problem doing that star field demonstration in a fully lit environment. Not in the dark, not in a poorly lit environment or ambient light controlled environment, in a fully lit room. That means those windows that are closed with the blinds, open them up. Or, better yet, take it outside. So that's why we do these demonstrations, to have people show us what is the difference between your gray screen. Can it produce contrast? If it can, back it up. Now you see why the screen looks washed out here? It's because, like I said, it can't pull contrast. It doesn't have ambient light rejection technology. It's just everyday house paint. That's what it is. Alright, so let's grab something over here. We're going to grab the star field. I love doing the star field demonstration. This is a demonstration that gray screens and white screens stay far away from. Now here we are doing a star field. Now if you're watching Star Wars, anything involves anything with black contrast, you're watching anything to do with the solar systems, anything involves dark contrast. I mean, a lot of things do. You're never going to see this on your projector. And this is a projector that probably has a 200, probably, I'd say 400 to 800 to 1 contrast. That is really, really low on a projector. And that's 1100 lumens. And it's picking up black, where gray screen can't do it. And I'll have some people say, hey look, it's not fair, you have the lights on. Well, my lights are on, I'm not. What is the problem here when I say I have the lights on? My screen is working with the lights on, so how come this screen can't work with the lights on? Customers today are replacing their TVs, but TVs are very expensive, especially for parts and repair. They're replacing their TVs for projectors. They want that real home theater experience. But not only when they want to watch movies with the lights out, which they will, they want to be able to use it with the lights on in a fully lit environment. And this is what projection screen companies and screens are pushing, ambient light rejection technology. It is a must. Any screen that does not have this technology is of the past. People do not want to sit in the dark all day long. More and more people, now back then when people had dedicated home theater setups, yeah, that was a given. But now people are using them in their living rooms, they're using them in their dens, they're using them all over the place. Projectors are just not restricted to a home theater dedicated setup. People want them in their living rooms. Now what's the point of you having a beautiful living room, can't see it, because you're sitting in the dark because you're afraid if you turn any lights on, your screen's going to wash out on you. I'm telling you, people are still thinking that people are just using projection screens for the simple fact that they are just designed for the dark only. You are living in the past, my friend. All right. Now there you go, check that out. We don't even got to go near contrast. We'll go to some bright colors. This is the problem you have when you're dealing with a gray screen or white screen. Because the lights are on, the picture quality starts to fade. Where a black screen can maintain color. It can maintain contrast. It has beautiful white levels. Our technology has the best when it comes to white levels. And this is all on a cheap projector. This is my Sony projector, my cheap Sony projector. Right there. Alright, with that all being said, hope you enjoyed the video demonstration. Thank you all for your time. I have to go. You can purchase our amazing screen paints on our website with free worldwide shipping. Thank you all for your time. I gotta go, and God bless.